This is the Dental Up Podcast, your daily source for insights from dentists and leaders in the industry. Brought to you by Keating Dental Lab, a full-service, award-winning dental lab that is here to add value to your dental practice. With high-quality restorations, friendly, reliable service, the best products and prices, come experience the Keating difference. Visit KeatingDentalLab.com for details.
Good morning and welcome back to the Dental Lab Podcast. I'm Bob Brandon, your host and general manager here at Keating Dental Lab. So I just returned from Virginia over the weekend, and wow, flying places is really fun right now, as I'm sure most of you will agree. I was on 4 flights and every single one of them was delayed. Hundreds of passengers at those customer service desks rebooking flights. Record fuel prices causing record high fares. $30 to check a bag, $30 for extra legroom, $13 for a bagel sandwich. That was a piece of meat, a piece of cheese, and some wilted lettuce and tomato. Nice. Honestly, the best deal I had at the airport was the $6 pint, and it was delicious. And we now hear it's going to still get worse. Inflation's at a 40-year high. Seems like we hear that said every month now, though. And the Fed's considering another 50 basis points increase. Prices at the pump established a new record high, averaging over $5 a gallon nationwide, approaching $7 here in most of California. But here at Keating Dental Lab, we haven't raised prices since 2011. That's 11 years now without an increase. Business here is booming. We have a record high number of cases and a record high number of customers. Thank the good Lord above. So let's get down to the nuts and bolts for today. And let me introduce you to one of my favorite customers. She was a Navy dentist before transitioning into private practice, one of Keating's original customers, and she's been a great friend and mentor for 18 years now. She was an early adopter of CAD/CAM technology, way ahead of the curve, and contacted us for advice on which digital impressioning system to consider. She not only saves 23% on the price of her crowns by scanning, but has also increased her efficiency so much so that she sees patients only 2 days per week. She is the shining example of working smarter and not harder. Please join me in welcoming to the Dental Lab Podcast from Chenango Valley, Pennsylvania, Dr. Deanna Thomas. Good morning, Dr. Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us on the Dental Lab Podcast today.
Good morning, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. And you've been one of our longest standing and most loyal customers. In fact, this is your second appearance on the Dental Lab Podcast. Is that correct?
I guess so, yeah. I believe I did one of these with Sean a long time ago.
That's right. It was done with Sean many years ago. And we were trying to put together a list of, okay, who was really good and who should we have back on? And then, he went back and he looked at the number of downloads per guest and you were at the top. So let's roll with it again.
Okay, let's do it.
Awesome. So tell us just briefly, where you went to dental school, when you graduated, and then, what your first job was like. And I think it'd be interesting if you could comment on, your career in the military, if you can, and then kind of where you steered after that.
Okay, so let's see. Back in 1994, I graduated from the University of Pittsburgh School of Dental Medicine, and those were exciting times.
Yeah, great school, great clinical school. We have so many doctors from Pitt.
Yeah, we were really fortunate because our class got to enjoy a brand new facility, and so we were really lucky, and it was nice because we were kind of spoiled, I guess, at that point. So, because then anyway, after I finished dental school, I went to work in a local nonprofit from my hometown so I could work on some loan forgiveness, which where we never really even did any like removable pros or we didn't do a lot of crowns because most of the time we were just kind of putting out fires for people because the amount of people needing treatment and the amount of providers to give it, just the ratios weren't quite right. And they still aren't. It's actually just gotten so much worse. But I was like double booked every 15 minutes and just, trying to do whatever we could for people to at least get them out of pain.
Yeah.
So I did that for 3 years and realized that wasn't for me. So after that,
3 years of putting out fires is that's a long time.
Actually, I did that after. I forgot. I joined the military after dental school. My bad. I got it all out of order, right? No, yeah. So I joined the Navy for 5 years, and I did a lot of traveling and had a lot of great experiences, and learned so much. And it was really great leaving dental school and going to work somewhere where, we had specialists from all the varieties to answer our questions and to teach us and to quiz us and to just kind of hold our hands while we were learning. Because I feel like nowadays when people come out of dental school, they have zero clue what's going on because they're not getting any hands-on experience.
Right.
So
were you at a VA hospital, or were you on a base, or were you on a ship?
I was on a base I was stationed in Kings Bay, Georgia, which was a sub base. And that was pretty interesting, getting sub sailors going, preparing them for duty, because we were always lectured that if any sub has to surface because somebody missed something and somebody got a toothache, that it would be our ass, so
Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
you don't want to be responsible. So it was very interesting because at that command, looking through the charts and reviewing radiographs, and especially just anything that you thought might be an issue for somebody, you had to really treat it aggressively because you didn't want them to have any issues while they were deployed, because that's just not cool to, have to surface a sub and send out a helicopter to take somebody off because they got a toothache.
Oh yeah, that would be wow.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess it's happened. I don't know, but that's something that that they always, whether it's true or not, I don't know. But
Yeah, but that's the military. You always plan and prepare for the worst case scenario. So if you prepare for the worst, then hopefully everything else is taken care of.
True that. Yeah. Then I was stationed on Guam for 2.5 years.
Oh wow.
And that was really an enlightening experience, because I most of my free time that I had there, I spent just traveling and just all over Micronesia and Japan, Korea, and
awesome.
Bali, and I can't even think of everywhere I've been over there.
Is that where you learned? That where you learned to scuba dive?
Yes, I learned to scuba dive there. It was so beautiful. I mean, the water was the visibility is 100 feet everywhere, and the temperature is in the 80s every day. So it was just awesome. It was just beautiful, and it was just really a great opportunity. So I just took advantage of it, and just traveled. And fortunately, our commanding officer was big into traveling. So he would plan all of our trips, and we would do CEs in Singapore. And then, you could afterwards kind of go to Thailand or go wherever you wanted to go and just do your own thing. But
wow, that's amazing.
It was nice. Yeah, it was nice having a boss like that. That was really cool. And when I was there, we had a airplane crash into the side of a mountain, and we had to ID a lot of the bodies that were left from the crash.
Goodness.
Yeah, because there was go ahead.
Was this a commercial aircraft, or was this a military aircraft?
Yeah, it was a commercial aircraft that just kind of flew right into the side of a mountain.
Ooh,
it actually had about 20 survivors. So it was a really interesting experience, spending time with NTSB and just trying to figure out the system and IDing bodies, and we learned a whole lot. So it was definitely
yikes,
it was definitely interesting.
That's a scary experience, but one that you'll never forget, I'm sure.
No, I won't. It's it leaves a mark.
Yeah. Geez.
Yeah. And then we had a super typhoon blow through Guam when we were there. It's crazy, sustained winds of 200 miles an hour. And
oh my gosh, that is super. Big
tidal surge. Yeah, that came through and rolled through a couple of military houses, on the low point on the base. So yeah, it was a crazy place, the things that happened there. And it was just, it's just a little tiny island out in the middle of nowhere, and all this drama.
So hey, you're surrounded by ocean, and you're at the mercy of the ocean and Mother Nature, and that's something that we're not too faced with often in Pennsylvania or in California. I mean, sometimes we are, but definitely not Pennsylvania. We get some wicked wind once in a while, but other than that, feel pretty safe living here. Yeah, it's a different lifestyle out in the middle of the ocean. So when did you move into your current space?
Let's see here. When was that? 2003.
Oh, wow. Okay. Excellent. And then talk about a little bit about the evolution of your practice and, how it grew and, the how you attracted new patients and the staff that you added and when you added Dr. Peters on and those types of things.
Okay, so let's see here. The transition of the practice. Well, I guess I just started with myself. My mom was helping me out, and I had a dental assistant, and we just started out just doing everything we could for everybody. You know, I was doing root canals, whatever, dentures, fillings, anything that I could possibly, you know, fill the schedule with. And then after a point, it just got to be way too. Dr. Peters came around, and she was working for another local dentist in Mercer, PA, which is about 20 minutes away from us. And she was just helping him while he was sick. And then we started talking, and we started together. She started working part-time and then got busy enough at the other practice where she just worked there full-time. And then finally that practice kind of like dried up. And so, I don't know, we had a bunch more to bounce ideas off of, because she likes to do dental implants and clear correct and some of the newer stuff. And I personally just like to do single unit crowns and restorative dentistry. Anything more than that, I'm passing off to her now. So
well, you guys have a good partnership, and you split up the patient base, you know, really well in that regard. And yeah, I mean, we know that the days that you're in the office, because
yes.
talk about the technology that you added, and you know, kind of go back to, you know, some of the decision making on, you know, when to buy the scanner and which model that you chose.
Okay, let's see here. That purchase, the 3Shape, I think about 6 years ago, maybe 7. And basically the decision was made in discussion with you guys, talking to you. And I don't know if you remember the conversation.
I do, yeah.
But and I think it was Dean at that time.
Yes, it was.
You know, like, well, we want to get a scanner, but what do you guys use? Because we want to continue our relationship with you. So what are you guys using, and what do you recommend? What's going to be the easiest for the stuff that we do? So we ended up with the 3Shape, and it's still working to this day. Gun some wood real quick. But, you know, we've had great luck with it, and there was a little bit of a learning curve, but every time it seems like if something's off or something's not going right, which is very, very rare, just a phone call or two to you guys, and we're back up and we're running again without any drama.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice that you guys are so familiar with it, and you know what you're doing with it, because you can help us with it, because, you know, that's definitely not our thing, trying to figure that out.
No, definitely. It's hard. I mean, the technology has been, you know, it can be a stress point in the office. And, you know, I was so happy, and we're so fortunate that you guys did reach out to us and figure, you know, kind of had the discussion on what's best for the workflow for the types of restorations that you're prescribing. And 3Shape, yeah, 3Shape was the answer. It was, you know, absolutely the answer. And, you know, on your side and our side, the workflow is seamless. We're getting crowns done in like 2 days, and, you know, we can print a model and a crown virtually simultaneously. And I know you're getting back those little tiny, what we call the check models back with the restorations. How are the inserts going? Are they 5 minutes?
Well,
10
you
minutes?
haven't heard from me, right?
Right.
Everything's going in. Everything's just, it's really nice. Yeah, we haven't had any trouble doing any deliveries lately. Everything, at least for me, because I'm not trying to do anything fancy ever. I'm just doing old traditional crown and bridge. And fortunately, everything that I'm doing is just turning out to be, it's a home run every time now. So it makes the day go a lot better.
And technology should make that, because, you know, it takes a lot of the human error out of the equation. And,
right.
You know, with scanners and CAD/CAM and milling equipment, scanners on your end and CAD/CAM and milling equipment on our end, you know, and really set design parameters. What we've always done in the past is, you know, you've called and you've said, okay, the contacts are a little bit, you know, tight, or occlusion's a little bit high. And then we go into the software and we make those corresponding adjustments. And,
right,
you know, we kind of get feedback for the next, you know, 2 weeks and wait until you tell us, yeah, we're on the right path. No, we're on the wrong path. And, sometimes we have to make another adjustment. Sometimes it's an adjustment to, the internal aspect, the intaglio, the cement gap setting, those kinds of things. But yeah, I mean, that's what having a relationship and technology can do. And I'm happy to hear everything's been a home run.
Yeah, we're very pleased. It makes the day, like I said, so much better when you know that, when you have stuff that's not fitting and if it's not going in, you're just like, oh God, no, not another one. I don't want to do this. I don't want another crown delivery on my schedule today. But we haven't.
Good. That's
we don't
excellent.
have that.
No, and we've heard those. We've heard those types of things where frustration and doubt creeps into the mind, like what's going on, and then how do we correct it? So those are real world problems. I'm happy that we're not experiencing anything of that with you and Dr. Peters, obviously, but those are issues for other customers and other listeners that are tuning in today. So. What types of crowns are you prescribing?
Mostly the KDZ Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we do most of the time.
Yep. And you're happy with the aesthetics and patients are happy?
Definitely.
Yeah. And what's your delivery protocol like for these types of restorations? And this is important. I know you're doing it the right way, but this is important for a lot of listeners to really pay attention to what you're going to say next.
Basically just, we have the assistant seat the patient, take the provisional off, clean up the restoration, let us know whether or not they think the patient needs anesthesia so they can get that ready, have them place the restoration in the mouth. They check the contacts, they check the occlusion to make sure that at least it goes in and that the patient can bite on it comfortably. Then we have them sit with a cotton roll, usually for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, depending on, whether or not, it's in there right away, or, we might need to bite down, because sometimes the occlusion can be a little bit off. And I don't know if that's sometimes because of the provisional or not. I'm guessing that it probably is, because it was probably, taken, the provisional was probably too far out of occlusion. So we might have had some movement. So we have them bite on that cotton roll. And then when we go in, we double check everything and mix up our Reliax, smack it down, and that's that.
Excellent. And which version of the Reliax are you using?
That's
okay.
I'm not sure. It has a yellow cap. That's all I can tell you now, Bob.
No,
I forgot all of that stuff like 10 years ago. I don't pay attention to that anymore. That's somebody else's department now.
No, it's good. But you have it on autopilot and it's so predictable. Yes. I mean, Reliax luting is probably the number one cement used in the United States, but it is that popular because it works. So
Yep. Oh yeah. We also use that Ivaclean too. I remember was it like 3 or 4 years ago, we decided that those restorations weren't staying bonded because we weren't removing some biologicals or something like that. So now we need to use that Ivaclean. Is that ever going to go away, do you suppose? Step?
I mean, really, Ivaclean, it does remove all the impurities. It is a fantastic cleansing agent. There are other versions of it out, on the market, but I would still recommend using a cleansing agent, because, you never want to use acid on zirconia. That just makes it smooth. Acid does remove a lot of things, but it just makes the zirconia surface, ultra slick, and it actually reduces bond strength of the luting agent. But no, Ivaclean or a similar, cleansing agent is still recommended, and you're doing the right thing.
Well, it's working, so we're going to stick with it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, so, before we wrap up here, just a couple more, questions, but, what advice, like, let's say, a dental student just graduates, like they're from Pitt and they, come into your office. What kind of advice would you give somebody that's just graduating and entering into this profession?
To find somebody to work with so that they can learn and not try to pull it off and go solo.
Yeah, that's hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine anybody even thinking about doing that nowadays. But although I guess I did it, but it was such a long time ago. But when we were in dental school, I feel like we actually saw patients and did a lot of dental treatment. But because I hear stories now, like in dental school, they're not seeing patients before they leave. And that's very disturbing to me. But I would just recommend to get in with somebody good that can teach you how to do things the right way.
A mentor.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
A must. A mentor is a must.
Excellent. Well, yeah, that's great advice. We all need mentors when we're young. And, you know, when you're young, you have enthusiasm and experience and maybe a little bit of education or wisdom, but you need a mentor. And I had a lot of mentors when I was growing up, starting off in this, and young dentists that are enthusiastic about this profession definitely need a good mentor like you.
Yeah, because there's too many things to you can't put it in the book. You can't learn it that way. You just have to get out there and start doing it. Yeah,
it's the ultimate hands-on profession.
Oh, for sure.
So, what do you like to do in your free time? We talked about scuba diving. You know, what was your best dive? Because I'm a diver too. What was your best dive ever?
Probably I want to say a place called Blue Corner in Palau.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to do a lot of diving, especially when I was stationed in Guam, and going to Palau, and I think that was just like the most incredible diving ever. It was just awesome. There's so much life, and there's so many just tunnels and reefs and walls, and just so many beautiful things. And I know that it's changed a lot now over the past few years because of what, all the diving and the world condition of the oceans and everything changing. And I think that it's probably changed a lot since I've been there, but that is definitely the coolest thing ever.
Awesome.
Ever.
Yeah, that part of the world's on my bucket list. I made it as far, Hawaii is only a 5 to 6 hour flight from here on the West Coast, but
right.
I made it as far to Tahiti once, and just so beautiful. And that's, definitely a place I want to go back to. But yeah, Palau, and unbelievable diving in that part of the world.
Yeah, that's definitely the best spot. So do you do a lot of cold water diving? Or you dive?
Not that I'm older.
Don't do that? No, yeah, I was going to say.
I'm a little bit of a chicken now. I mean, it's just, even lifting a 7mm wetsuit and getting that on and trying to move is like, what am I doing?
I know. I have some younger friends that do it, and I'm like, you're crazy. But they're like, you see the coolest things, like big octopus and like all that big sea life off the California coast.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I went about 5 years ago. We went lobster diving. I had a buddy with some traps down, south of the lab. And, it was great. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I think it took about 3 seconds for me to freeze my butt off. And it's like, okay, this is cool, but is it really?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. So now I'm doing things more age appropriate, like golf.
Yeah, me too. Excellent. Wow. Well, Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey. And it's been so awesome just working with you and learning from you really all these years. Yeah. So thank you.
We're in it together.
Yeah. Yep, we absolutely are. And thank you so much for joining us on your day off. And I wish you the best, wish you and your family the best, wish you and your practice and your patients all the best. And if you ever need anything, you know how to get in touch with us.
Yeah, we'll do. We thank you for all of your help through the years, and we wouldn't be where we are without you guys. So we appreciate you.
Well, it's a great partnership and a great relationship. Yes. And like you said, we're in it together, and I sincerely appreciate that.
Excellent. Well, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. I got to come out and visit again. That's
awesome.
The best.
Yes, please do. We'll go diving, but it might be a short one.
All right.
Okay. Take care, Thanks, Dr. Thomas. Okay.
You too.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Dental Up podcast, your daily source for insights from dentists and leaders in the industry. This episode is sponsored by Keating Dental Lab, here to add value to your dental practice. With high-quality restorations, friendly, reliable service, the best products and prices, come experience the Keating difference. Visit KeatingDentalLab.com for details.